What made Prince Harry's tour in Afghanistan extra dangerous? And why was he later stripped of some of his titles? Find out in this complete rundown of Harry's military career.
Nothing was more valuable than the time I got to spend with my soldiers in a shell scrape.
Prince Harry's military career kicked off in earnest in 2004 when the royal family announced that he had successfully completed and passed the Regular Commissions Board. The Royal Commission on the Defence of the United Kingdom was founded in 1859 as a way for the nation to assess its ability to defend itself in war. The exams are the first step toward enrolling in the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, where Harry would go on to take classes. Harry admitted in a statement from Clarence House that the 4-day-long test experience was very challenging, but that he was delighted to have passed. He added, "I have set my sights on joining the army, and I'm really looking forward to going to Sandhurst next year." The Royal took the exam alongside 31 other military hopefuls who, like Harry himself, were being evaluated on their potential to not only serve in the military, but to become officers while doing so. Clarence House also shared that Harry's passing of the test wasn't ensured. The test, which covers mental, physical, and emotional abilities, has a pass rate of only 60%. Prince Harry officially entered the military the following year on May 8, 2005. At the time, media outlets insinuated that the prince's close contacts hoped the military would introduce discipline into the life of the then 20-year-old, who had been the subject of a number of negative headlines following his own behaviour. Harry's father, King Charles, accompanied him to his first day at the Military Academy Sandhurst, where the young royal joined 270 other recruits to receive their uniforms and further instructions. Sergeant Major Vince Gaunt assured the UK's Press Association that Harry would receive no special treatment due to his royal status, and he was required to stay at the academy for the first 5 weeks without any outside visits, just like the rest of the recruits. Harry was also one of the first to join the British Army instead of the Navy. However, several members of the family had their own military experience, including his father, grandfather, and older brother Prince William. Harry later revealed that his time in the military caused him to split himself into 3 parts. According to the prince, his different personas included one in the army, one socially in my own private time, and then one with the family and stuff like that. So there is a switch, and I flick it when necessary.
It's very easy to completely forget about who I am when I'm in the army. I am one of the guys, I don't get treated any differently.
Prince Harry continued to swiftly enjoy military honours, awards, and promotions early in his time of service. In 2006, an official statement announced upon his commission that Harry would become a member of the Blues and Royals Regiment within the Household Cavalry, with the rank of second lieutenant. They also shared that Harry's goals included becoming an armoured reconnaissance troop leader within the cavalry. The Blues and Royals were first formed in 1969, and the regiment is described as the second most senior regiment in the British Army and operates as both an armoured reconnaissance unit and a ceremonial guard of the monarch. The next steps for Harry included training as a specialist to become a troop leader in the Royal Armoured Corps, which would see Harry as a leader of about 12 soldiers in operations. Additionally, joining the Household Cavalry allowed Harry the opportunity to join the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment in London, the members of which made up Queen Elizabeth's lifeguard at the time, as well as escorting the sitting monarch to official events. The royal family further elaborated on the possibility and noted that, as an officer, Harry would be unlikely to participate as an escort or in the lifeguard. One of the more special aspects of Prince Harry's military career is that his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, formally commissioned him into the military in April of 2006. The occasion took place following Harry's 44 weeks of training and education at Sandhurst. Harry was one of 220 cadets who were commissioned by Queen Elizabeth in the ceremony, and senior members of Harry's family were also in attendance to observe the celebration. Harry took a short break before moving on to specialist training at England's Bovington Camp, where he began working towards becoming an armoured reconnaissance troop leader. The training took an additional 5 months, and Harry and his fellow recruits learned more about signals, driving, and maintenance. Queen Elizabeth gave a speech at the event where she told Harry and his comrades that their most important relationships are with the officers they would be in charge of, saying, If you look at the careers of successful officers, you will find that, no matter how clever they have been, what really matters is how they related to people under their command. Prince Harry was secretly deployed to Afghanistan in 2007 to serve his first tour of duty. However, the tour was inadvertently cut short after the Australian magazine New Idea leaked the news, and Harry was forced to return to the United Kingdom without finishing his assignment. The magazine later apologised and issued a statement that indicated it wasn't aware of the blackout. Later, in May of 2008, Prince Harry was among military service members who were awarded medals in honour of their service in Afghanistan. Though Harry's first tour of duty was cut short, he was still celebrated for the 10 weeks that he completed. Harry joined 160 other soldiers as they marched through Windsor, where the headquarters for their segment of the military were located. Harry and his fellow military service members each received the Operational Service Medal from Princess Anne, Harry's aunt. Harry was the first member of the royal family to be involved in active military service in nearly 30 years when he was deployed to Afghanistan. His uncle Prince Andrew previously flew helicopters in the Falklands War in the 1980s. Prince Harry spent over 3 years in the military training as an Apache pilot, earning the title of Best Co-Pilot Gunner while still training, and ultimately began working on his own as a pilot in 2012. According to Harry's commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Tom de la Rue, the Royal was well up to the task, saying, "Prince Harry has reached the pinnacle of flying excellence as an Apache pilot, particularly in Afghanistan, and, in the process, has proved to be a real inspiration to the many Army Air Corps officers and soldiers who have come to know him so well over the last 2 years." Harry later admitted that he killed members of the Afghan insurgent forces while piloting the helicopters. As the outlet reported, Harry said that he shot at the Taliban while defending British troops on the ground, and also to rescue Afghan civilians and NATO personnel. 4 years after his first attempt at serving time on the front lines in the war in Afghanistan, Prince Harry was redeployed to the country as a pilot. This time around, the news was shared after Harry arrived on base in September of 2012. Harry joined the 100 troops of the 662 Squadron, 3rd Regiment Army Air Corps, and was welcomed by Royal Navy Captain Jock Gordon, who acknowledged the difficult mission that Harry faced, saying, "He will be in a difficult and demanding job, and I ask that he be left to get on with his duties and allowed to focus on delivering support." The Ministry of Defence in the UK made the deliberate choice to make Harry's location public, but news organisations and reporters were asked to use discretion to keep Harry and his fellow service members safe. Harry continued to serve as a pilot for 2 more years until he stepped down from the role in 2014, instead taking on a more desk-oriented role in London, according to CNN. The news outlet also noted that Kensington Palace had revealed that Harry's new responsibilities would include coordinating projects and commemorative events involving the army in London. Prince Harry's time in the British military officially came to an end in the summer of 2015, announcing that he would retire from the military following a 4-week posting to Australia. Harry's 4 weeks in Australia consisted of training and domestic duties within the country. After that, he embarked on a royal tour of New Zealand. He was in the service for a total of 10 years. Harry was also open about not being sure what professional steps he hoped to take following his retirement.
I'm very happy that I've done 10 years in the services. There is part of me, of course, especially post-Australia, that I would love to carry on doing that.
It was clear that Harry struggled with the decision to retire completely from an experience that was such a dominant part of his life for so long. He shared in part with the BBC, "I consider myself incredibly lucky to have had the chance to do some very challenging jobs and have met many fantastic people in the process. The experiences I have had over the last 10 years will stay with me for the rest of my life." Prince Harry and Meghan Markle confidently chose to step back from life as senior members of the royal family in January 2020, a decision that came with a lot of consequences. Unfortunately for Harry, one consequence of the act was that he lost his honorary military titles. These included appointments that Harry earned during his time as an active duty member of the military. For starters, Harry was appointed the Commodore-in-Chief of Small Ships and Diving in 2006. and lost that appointment following his departure from the institution. He was also named an honorary Air Commandant by the Royal Air Force Honington in 2008 and was named the Captain General of the Royal Marines in 2017. Buckingham Palace acknowledged the end of these patronages in a terse statement that read in part, "As agreed in this new arrangement, they understand that they are required to step back from royal duties, including official military appointments. They will no longer receive public funds for royal duties."